Welcome. Today, we're discussing a medication that is far from new. It has been on the market for a very long time and was traditionally, and still is, used for patients with type 2 diabetes. However, due to a minor side effect which is actually one of its greatest strengths, many doctors stopped prescribing it, leading to a significant decline in its use. Consequently, most pharmaceutical companies have scaled back or completely halted its production. Yet, recent discoveries have revealed profound health benefits and countless advantages, sparking a surge in extensive research. This medication, which is a natural drug derived from an organic extract, carries very few side effects. In fact, its primary side effect can be beneficial. This is a vital topic, and this episode is crucial. We hope to reach pharmaceutical companies to resume production and doctors, so they may prescribe it to their patients, and ultimately, it isn't just for everyone. It offers even greater benefits for the healthy. We'll explore all of this in today's episode right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. We often see talented individuals who remain in the shadows. For instance, you might find a brilliant actor who delivers memorable roles but never achieves fame, or a singer with a magnificent voice who remains largely unknown. The same phenomenon occurs in medicine. The drug we're discussing today should be highly valued and widely used because of its extraordinary benefits. It aids the heart, supports muscle mass, assists in weight loss, and may even promote longevity. The active ingredient is acarbose. Acarbose is a name that might sound a bit unfamiliar. It is available on the market, notably produced by the German firm Bayer, under the common brand name Glucobay. Another version is produced by an American company, under the name Precose. This version is also widely distributed across various countries. In Saudi Arabia, it is known by the brand name Acarbose. So, it carries many names, and in other regions, there are many more. Here in Egypt, it was primarily sold as Glucobay. Later, other companies began producing it under the names Precose and various others. However, production eventually stalled in Egypt because doctors simply stopped prescribing it. So, what is the story behind Acarbose? It is essentially a natural product of bacteria, a very organic substance, and it is barely absorbed by the body. How does it work when you consume a high carbohydrate meal? Think rice or potatoes. Your body uses an enzyme called alpha-glucosidase to digest it, breaking it down into glucose molecules for absorption. As this glucose enters the bloodstream, sugar levels rise. This triggers insulin production, which often leads to weight gain. Thus, excessive carbohydrate intake is a path toward obesity. Acarbose operates through a simple mechanism. It inhibits the intestinal enzyme responsible for digesting starches. Consequently, these starches remain in the digestive tract and pass through without being absorbed. In essence, the body doesn't take in those calories. You might wonder, aren't starches good for you? Not necessarily. Excessive starch consumption is linked to diabetes, heart issues, and numerous other health complications. Research has shown a direct correlation between high starch intake and the rate of aging, including wrinkles and various age-related diseases. Acarbose was originally introduced specifically for type 2 diabetes. The logic was simple: reduce starch digestion by instructing a diabetic patient to take it. With their first bite of a meal, you prevent the glucose spike before it even starts. It was a very straightforward way to manage the condition. If you have diabetes, the goal is to keep blood sugar low. And it worked incredibly well. But then, a wave of new products arrived, backed by different mechanisms and heavy advertising. That's when things changed. Because it was an older medication, its price remained very low, making it less profitable for manufacturers compared to newer alternatives. Doctors began pivoting toward these newer treatments for their diabetic patients. However, recent research has come to light. I have a specific study in mind today. I'll share the details here. It was published in September 2020, specifically on the 20th. The results regarding Acarbose were nothing short of amazing. They found that it increased lifespan in men by an average of 17%. A 17% increase in lifespan, coupled with improved overall health. In women, the increase was about 5%, appears more effective for men. It clearly yields positive results for both. The extension of lifespan is significant. But it's also important for weight management. It aids weight loss by limiting the carbohydrates that cause fat accumulation. By reducing digestion, the body begins to shed weight naturally. It was also found to enhance heart function and help maintain muscle mass. So, what is stopping this drug from being used more widely? Primarily, it's a mix of marketing bias and the fact that research only recently confirmed its suitability for the general population. Not just diabetics. In fact, its results are often better in healthy individuals by preventing the excessive carbohydrate absorption that leads to obesity and chronic disease. Regarding the brand names, you see on the screen, it's important to understand that when most people go to a pharmacy, they ask for the commercial brand name rather than the chemical name. Sometimes, even pharmacists may not immediately recall the active especially ingredient, if it has been out of stock for a while. We have two companies in Egypt that produce it, but output has dropped recently. We urge these companies to resume full production and make it readily available. We need to reach out to clinics and the public to explain that this isn't just a diabetes pill. This medication can improve health for everyone. It helps slow down the aging process and potentially increases life expectancy. While our time is ultimately in God's hands, studies show it can increase 17 to 20% in men, while reducing heart disease incidence and helping to maintain vital muscle mass. Now, what about the side effects? What are the drawbacks? They actually stem from exactly how it works. By slowing carbohydrate digestion, undigested carbs reach the large intestine. There, we find what we call beneficial microbes or gut flora. These microbes are essential for our health. They are truly life-sustaining. They begin to feed on those undigested carbohydrates, and their population flourishes. However, this increased microbial activity leads to gas. Consequently, those taking Acarbose often experience bloating, which can be bothersome. Sometimes doctors say, it's causing discomfort, let's stop and try something else. But this bloating is actually a sign of one of its main benefits. These healthy microbes are producing vital vitamins. While the gas is an inconvenient side effect, these microbes are working to produce vitamin B12, vitamin K, and other essential nutrients. These microbes are fundamental to maintaining health. We can dive deeper into that in a future video. The gut microbiome is one of the most important systems in the human body, and this drug strengthens it. This may very well be the reason behind the increased longevity linked to Acarbose. That is effectively its only side effect. It isn't harmful, quite the opposite, it's a sign of a healthier internal environment. So, in this video, I am appealing to the pharmaceutical companies that used to produce Acarbose. I've checked at pharmacies, and it's increasingly hard to find. Please, let's encourage these companies to resume production and make it accessible to everyone. Acarbose promotes weight loss and is a powerful tool against obesity. It prevents harmful sugars from flooding the system, protecting the heart, muscles, and eyes. It even helps prevent cataracts, kidney damage, and the general renal weakness associated with high blood sugar. Obesity, weight gain, and belly fat all can be managed more effectively with Acarbose. Aside from bloating, it has no major side effects. And even that is a byproduct of nurturing the beneficial bacteria within us. I hope this message hits home. Until next time, peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you.